Your job in Catalent in Greenville, North Carolina is starting soon. And you're looking at your calendar and you're looking at the time and window that you have from moving from another state or another place to Greenville, North Carolina with the time that you wanted to get to your house and start the job is a very short window.
So this means you have maybe one plane ticket. The house, we need to find the house, make sure it's getting completely and negotiated for while you live in one state and you are coming here for another state. This is not luck. This is a process that runs all the time that we help many people with, and it runs whether you're calling. We have many clients, so we do it, but it's whether you're standing in the property or if you haven't found that property just yet. So really, who is this for?
Exactly. This video is really for you if you're relocating professionals or a family that working against a date or basically a timeline that you have that is closer that you like to be. And maybe you have a couple months or maybe you just have a couple weeks. That's why we are here today, to offer you a step-by-step what we are talking about and how we can help you from start to finish.
Because really, the goal of us is to be really efficient in this time frame for you. You want to be able to trust all the parts and the pieces, and if you can't verify a screening, because that is the kind of search engine that's going on, maybe you have a specific loan, you need to check it. Make sure that the house is going on that calendar date that you need to arrive for either a week before, a week after you start. And it can't be something that's having last minute hiccups. So let's talk about the first stage. Before you've arrived, you've now realized you want to buy a home. Let's talk about that.
Exactly. Therefore, that starts really for consultation, because the whole process is about efficiency, as we said. It's not just about the small talk, because it comes from the knowledge, the market, local knowledge, and basically is not just coming from a listing photo that you saw on the internet or any of the website of the real estate.
Now, when you understand what your price point basically is and what that actually buys in Pitt County, this actually kind of surprises people in a good way. You can see what's realistic with the stretch and where your gap might be, but let's just talk that through. You get this job in Catalent. You know it's on Sugg Parkway. Maybe you don't even know it's on Sugg Parkway, but it's on Sugg Parkway. In Greenville. You need to know the drive time to your job. A map estimate's going to give you one thing, but really having different addresses is going to give you different numbers. So we have a list on our website of homes that are kind of in a bubble, but we're going to go beyond that bubble right now because we're really going to talk about how we find the one that's going to be for you. So a real share of what the neighborhood is and what's selling in the neighborhood. So you're never spending the weekend on public sites and you have to kind of start thinking. Agents talk, and we now know which listings who has what listing, right? It's always been true. These are pocket lists. People have pocket listings all the time. So basically you want to be able to talk to these other agents who have these pocket listings coming soon and relationships with sellers who maybe are thinking of moving, but they haven't taken that photo yet. So you want to make sure that you know what the door even opens for public.
Exactly. Therefore, now let's look at a little bit the flow of the day. Yeah. No, the flow of the day, that we market ourselves also on the purpose, because that is how our client, we can help our client, because we have all this research and the search alert that we have for the different neighborhoods, and we know what's going on in those neighborhoods, and if something is supposed to come to the market or is a little bit late for the marketing or coming to be active in the market.
Now let's talk about this active listings, right? So let's just say Pitt County, that's the whole county that's Catalent in Greenville, North Carolina is in, has a median list price of $294,000 at the filming of this video, and really the average sales price is close to $367,500, and these are active homes listed for 65 days on the market. Again, this is countywide. This is
like a snapshot.
This is a countywide, and it might not be specific to that neighborhood that you really want to be in.
Exactly.
But it really tells you how the market is moving in general terms. And now
from there, basically, we work backward from your Catalent, or when you were working in Catalent in Greenville, North Carolina, start date. A closing here usually runs about 30 days. From the signing the contract to get those keys in your hand. So your job start date is what decide when an offer has to go in and goes to your calendar basically. And this is drives the whole process because we wanted to make sure that you're going smoothly from when you wanted to write the contract to the time that you wanted to get into your house and you wanted to start your first day in Catalent in Greenville, North Carolina.
Now we also walk you through new construction versus resale, which is the video we did for Thermo Fisher, so we're not going to do that again. You can watch that video too. But basically there is different clocks that run on different schedules. And a resale is going to be on that 30-day, and there's going to be a specific due diligence fee. We have a video on that too. New construction is going to be built to builder schedules, and maybe you do have 2 months, and maybe that one's going to be a better version for you. Now, knowing what type of property is going to help you from chasing a bunch of things when your timeline will never matter.
Exactly.
And now let's talk about, we are now talking about these homes. We have seen that they want to buy 1, 2, 3 Main Street mainly, maybe, and then they're thinking of 4, 5, 6 Elm Street and 7, 8, 9 Hope Street. I'm just making up addresses right now. But basically, once you're saying, I'm kind of looking at these 3 homes, well, what are we going to do for them?
Exactly.
They're not here yet.
Basically, we are not basically sending you a clip to watch. We are sending in this space of the judging the market and what we can do for you because it's
and we're built for.
I mean, I meant to say not just doing just the virtual.
Well, we're going to do the virtual tour and we're going to talk about the numbers as well, which my husband jumped into as well.
Yeah.
So it's not just a clip that you're watching. It is not just because you were like, oh, I'm thinking about these things. We're talking about, we want to look at beyond that. We're going to look at the listing history, whether it's been relisted. What is the normal timeline? Has this home had any price cuts? What are the signals on the seller side that you can't get from the photos? And what we're walking into when we actually look at and virtually tour this home, because one of that, you might be looking at how beautiful the home is. I'm looking at how old those windows are. So you have to kind of just remember we're looking at different things at all the time. So when you walk into a room, a wide camera lens on a photo is going to flatter the photo. But when we stand there and we look at the real things, we're really not just, we're seeing beyond the flattering image.
Exactly. And before we call a house a final lease,
because you loved it,
we basically read it on the paper the same day we just read it for you in person. The seller's disclosure, for example, a statement that we have access that you cannot see it, of course, and recorded documents page by page, because that is where your question might be exactly.
And did this house have a permit history? Does this house have restrictions because of an HOA that declared that maybe there's a lawsuit going on with this HOA that's going to kind of mess up everything, including your side yard that you might have loved because it has amazing petunias. I'm just making up a flower. Now, or where the fence line is doesn't look like it matches what it looks like on the survey online or what the plat map tells us. We want to really get a real survey before we buying this house. That's only really happened one time, but it can happen. But when you can resolve one of these ourselves, and we're really talking about understanding who to contact, who to hire, and who to really get to help us out, is really the entire difference between just having a question and solving a problem.
Exactly. Therefore now we feel closes actually actual closing the sales that not other homes that is still trying to sell, because the other property that trying to sell, there are actually competition for the house or the listing that you like to have or you're interested in. And that is genuinely different. It could be, for example, a different size of the lot. It could be a renovated kitchen. It could be a finished I want to say basement, but we in North Carolina
bonus room. Now, when you call, we're going to have real comparables for you to really talk about why the price is adjusted, is priced fairly, why maybe it isn't, why they dressed up the numbers, why they did, why they didn't. We're going to try to figure out. We're going to be math detectives and try to figure out why that price is what we're doing. Now, basically, if that home doesn't make sense and they're charging $100,000 more for the home that they should be, that's going to stop you right there, right? Probably, right? Unless you really want that home. And then that's not going to stop you. But maybe $100,000 is a lot of money to paying someone on extra. So you really need to know what that is. So we're just really trying to work that numbers for you. And honestly, when the clock is ticking, you want people who have market knowledge and know how to get this information for you super fast and super with knowledge. Exactly. And basically with the relocation timeline, it's really how much is going to work for you before you even arrive, right? So you want to make sure that these actually are going to be moving. Do they know inspectors? Do they know whatever closing attorney is going to work with the title? Basically, is the closing attorney going to be closed for vacation? We need to know that. Which lenders actually deliver? We're not lenders. We don't make any money from lenders. I refuse to take any kickbacks from lenders, but I can tell you that we can see on the back end who can actually close a deal.
Basically, what we're saying, these are not really a favors. Basically, this is the relationship that me and my wife, Alan Victoria, we build for the good business to help you, that you getting this relocation job to come to Greenville, for example, for Catalent, that this video is for, in Greenville, North Carolina, and see how we can efficiently help you to get to your house when you're starting your job with least amount of the stress.
So now let's hypothetically say you're like, I need to see the home before I buy it. You're like normal people, a lot of people. I mean, you're not like us. I bought a house, I was on the internet twice. But basically you're going to say, okay, I want to come to Greenville and I need to see these houses. Well, by having a conversation, really looking at different houses and pulling up information for you, that trip is going to be something that is much more secure. It's not one trip, it's a confirmation of the ones that you were already looking at. Maybe there's 2 or 3, maybe there's 5 or 6 homes that you're like, I really want to see these homes. So when you come and you fly into PGV, that's our airport.
Or they come to Raleigh.
Or you fly to Raleigh and you drive the 90 minutes. But basically, you're going to come and we're going to be able to say, okay, let's hit the ground running and see your favorites right away.
Exactly. And what happens after then you fly home at that point when you came for the visit, and the work actually, this way it protects your money, because now it's that, okay, I'm making the right choice for me and my family.
So you've talked to us through the codes installation. You saw us with the walking you through in the homes. You've never been handed off because it's one or the other for us. Basically, we're going to help you with inspections, making sure that the inspection's actually happening, coordinating whatever specialty inspections we need to have, because it just depends on the house.
Or if they wanted to do the survey, for example,
right.
Make sure that we do all this arrangement for you.
Basically making sure that you have the right to talk to the inspector, so you can actually get from their words, not just my words, what they saw in that house, so you can actually have that conversation while you're in your own home in your other state. So this really comes to really the survivors ones. When it basically, we're not going to talk about, is this going to get us repaired? We're going to fight for repairs. We're going to fight for credit. What are we looking for you to make sure that this home is exactly what it is that you want? Because we have to be realistic. We also have to make sure that we're getting something of value. And so typically a listing's going to get photographed, but basically, or a problem can be photographed by the inspector, but you need someone to be able to explain it to you.
Exactly. And the whole point is that we meet the deadline, because that is super important for you.
That's
you
true.
are in the time window and wanted to not miss that one. On valuation, basically, we are staying in the right lane. Make sure that your lenders, whoever you work, either the one that our past client helped or the one that you already chose is your lender, that your lender order appraisal is independent, it is independent by the federal law, and is not our place to walk into the process to try influence them that what the appraisal.
But we do, if let's just hypothetically Mike is your appraiser on that date, we make sure that Mike at least can get access to the home. So typically they talk to the seller's agent to get access, because that's just how the system works. But if they can't get in touch with the seller's agent, we're happy to make sure that they get into the home. That is really,
which happens recently.
Which happens more than just recently. It happens more than you think. So basically having the comparables, having ones that we've adjusted, understanding what the valuations are, means that when your lender goes there for the appraiser, it should be fine. Like, we try not to get you a home that's going to over appraise. We look at the numbers. If they're getting different numbers, I will be surprised. I've not been that off in a long time. But basically, we're negotiating for you on your behalf, and we are making sure that the process is working for you with boots on the ground. So if they need to have repairs, we're going to go check those repairs. If they're going to help you with closing costs, we're going to make sure that we have that in writing. But we're coordinating, and that's really kind of the thing. So your catalyst start date, or any employer really have your start date, and you want to be like all over the place wondering what's going on, because we only have a specific amount of time.
Exactly. And this is part of that. We can save you the time that you not jump on that flight, that you come for just these items to take care of it, or hit on the road to be assured, because you wanted to make sure that you're packing where you are and getting ready to move to your new home in this way.
So we can't wait to help you. We can't wait to talk about your trip to Greenville and how we can help you when you are here, so we can look at a bunch of homes together. Maybe 5 and 6 is too low and you have 8 or 9 survivors. We can still make that happen.
Exactly. We are Alan